Good morning. I'm Chenda Moore. My husband is Rob, right here, the drummer. So Gary asked me to share with you this morning my testimony. So how do you condense 50 years into just a few minutes? I will try. I'm going to go over 5, though, but I'll try, Gary. So what Gary didn't realize as I was reflecting about what I would share with you this morning is today is a very important day in my life, April 17th. Because you see, 47 years ago, Gary, today, my family and I were forced out of our home, Phnom Penh, Cambodia, into a concentration camp for almost 4 years. And after that almost 4 years, so I had to go back a little bit, Gary, so people can understand where I'm coming from. After 4 years of being told what to do, what to wear, what to say, everything stripped from us, except for our dignity. In 1979, the war ended, and we were free to go do whatever. We're like, well, what do we do now after almost 4 years of being told what to do, right? What to eat. And 1.7 million of the population had perished, 3 of whom were within my DNA, and that's my mother and 2 younger sisters. And so in 1979, my aunt and I, one of my father's younger sisters, we made it to Thailand, in which we stayed in Thailand, an American Red Cross camp for almost 2 years, and then we were sponsored to the United States in 1981. And that's where we started a new life. And so in starting a new life, my aunt and I, we worked hard. She instilled this idea of self-reliant independence, and if you work hard, you can achieve anything, such as the American dream. And so then she fell in love, and she married my uncle, and as I was growing up, we were invited to church many times over the years, and so my uncle would say yes periodically, and we would go once or twice to different denominations, and then he would say, we're not going back, because, you know, he had the say in the family, so we wouldn't go back. And then I graduated from high school. I'm going to fast forward real fast. Graduated from high school, went off to college, and as an Asian woman, I'm not supposed to leave the house. It's a cultural thing. But I chose to cut my ties. I wanted to go to college because school was what I know how to do, and I still know how to do school. For those of you who know me, I know how to do school. I can be a forever student if I had the money. And so I went off to college. Loneliness struck, and I've always had that loneliness in my whole life. And you can read between the lines as I'm telling you the story. And so I went off to college alone because my uncle said, when you leave, you leave. So I left, and I didn't turn back for 10 years. And so within those 10 years, when I started college, I met Beth. So I have to tell you about Beth. Beth is the Christian woman who stuck with me and by me for 10 years. She did not give up on me. Every time she asked me to go to church when I was in college, I said no. And I said no a lot. For 10 years, I said no. But she didn't give up on me. In fact, Beth and Jim was the 2 people who gave me the opportunity to finish college, because you see, I was paying my way through college. I was working, I had financial aid and a scholarship, and so I grew up with this idea of you work hard, you take care of your business, you don't take loans. So by the time that I was in my last semester of college, I was about to just drop out because my roommate had left. She'd gone back to Indonesia. I could not afford an apartment on my own without working full time. And it was my student teaching semester. And I mean, I'm in school all day. How can I continue working and supporting myself? So Beth said, come on and live with me. Jim is a pilot. He's gone all the time. I have an extra bedroom. My boys are grown. It's just going to be me, you, 7 cats, and a dog. As long as you can stand all of those critters, we're going to be fine. And so Beth took care of me that last semester so that I could graduate from college. But as life progresses during those 10 years, I did get married. I married my first boyfriend in college. That didn't work out. But like I said, life continues to happen. And then at the end of those 10 years, when I came to the end of myself, that's important to know. When I came to the end of myself was when I said, okay, I guess I'll step foot in a church. And by that time, I had a child, and I wanted her to have something more because I was still alone. And so now I'm 30 years old, and I have a child, and I'm alone. Went to church, put her in all the different programs, and then God blessed me with this man right here 20 years ago, Rob. And see what God can do, what God can do. And so as I became more aware of Jesus in my life and his importance in my life and how much I needed him, my faith is in his death, his resurrection, right? He was born, he died for us, and then he resurrected. How beautiful is that, guys? Such a beautiful picture. And thank you for giving me a moment. I know there's a lot of between the lines in 50 years, but I do want to encourage you that inviting Jesus into my life has totally transformed my life, as Rick said. I was that little cocoon. I was in that cocoon with you, Rick, and then we flew into the arms of Jesus. So thank you.